That's what a 74-year-old man once told me. Not about medicine, not about supplements, but about the moment he began treating tea not as a drink, but as a ritual. He said he didn't feel different right away, but slowly his sleep deepened, his mornings softened, and something inside him, something stiff for years, began to feel warm again. In ancient temples, monks didn't rush meals, and they never rushed tea. Tea wasn't just hydration, it was breath, it was rhythm, it was medicine passed from hand to hand, generation to generation. Modern science is only now discovering what ancient wisdom practiced daily. Certain teas do more than warm your hands. They gently repair the systems aging tends to wear down. Not overnight, but over ritual one. The ritual before the remedy. Before any herbs touch hot water. Before you think about antioxidants or which tea to choose for which ailment, there's something older, quieter, more powerful, the ritual. Monks knew this. They didn't just drink tea, they prepared the body to receive it. Before the first sip, they would sit. Not to multitask, not to scroll. They would settle, breathe, and create stillness around the cup. Because they understood, how you drink shapes what the tea becomes inside you. When the body is in stress mode, tight, fast, distracted, it digests less, absorbs less, heals less. But when you enter tea time with intention, you shift into the parasympathetic state, the body's healing mode, the mode where digestion deepens, inflammation eases, and the nervous system begins to untangle. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. Even one change, like turning off distractions, placing both feet on the floor, and sipping without rushing, can turn a simple tea into a daily healing ritual. Try it now. Hold your cup in both hands. Breathe once before each sip. Don't chase information while drinking. Let the tea speak louder than your thoughts. You'll notice something surprising. The warmth lands differently. The flavor feels fuller. The moment stretches, and in that stretch, your body starts to remember what calm feels like. Because healing doesn't always begin in the ingredients. Sometimes it begins in the way you sit with them. 2. Ginger tea, the inner fire restorer. There are mornings when everything feels slow. Your hands hesitate, your feet are reluctant, and your core, that deep center of warmth, feels absent. This is where ginger steps in, not loudly, not with force, but with a steady heat that begins deep within and works its way out. Ginger tea has long been used by Tibetan monks during high-altitude retreats. When the air was thin and movement took more effort, they turned to ginger not just for flavor, but for energy that began in the bloodstream. Modern science now confirms what they already knew. Ginger stimulates thermogenesis, your body's natural ability to produce heat. It improves circulation, delivers warmth to cold limbs, and eases joint stiffness through its anti-inflammatory compounds. It also supports digestion, especially helpful for older adults whose metabolism has begun to slow. Ginger calms the gut, relieves nausea, and gets things moving again, gently. But it's not just the benefits, it's the ritual. Slice fresh ginger, not powdered, not flavored. Drop it into boiling water. Let it simmer slowly. Add a slice of lemon, if you'd like, then pour it into a warm mug. Now pause. Wrap your hands around the cup. Breathe in the steam. And take your first sip before you take in the world. Because ginger doesn't just restore fire, it reminds you that warmth can begin not from the weather, but from within. And that your mornings, no matter how long your body has lived, still deserve to feel alive. 3. Rooibos. Tea, the nervous system healer. There are moments the body feels tired, but the mind refuses to rest. You lie down, but thoughts stay up. And even in stillness, you feel wired, not peaceful. This is where Rooibos quietly begins its work, caffeine-free, naturally sweet, and deeply grounding. Unlike stimulants that push the system, Rooibos pulls the body inward, toward calm, toward regulation, toward the kind of rest that doesn't have to be earned through exhaustion. It's rich in aspartame and not hoffagen, two rare antioxidants that help lower cortisol, your primary stress hormone. When cortisol stays high, your body can't shift into healing mode, your heart rate remains elevated. Digestion stalls. Sleep becomes shallow or delayed. Rooibos gently guides you back. It supports heart rate variability, a key sign that your nervous system is moving from fight or flight to rest and repair. Monks drank it during long sitting practices, not to stay alert, but to stay present without feeling strained. Try steeping a generous spoonful for 10 full minutes in the late afternoon. No multitasking, no emails. Just a warm mug, quiet hands, and the space to exhale. You may notice your breath slows, your shoulders drop. Your thoughts begin to move in wider arcs instead of tight loops. Because Rooibos isn't just about sleep, it's about unwinding what tension has coiled inside you through years of doing and rushing. Let it meet you where you are, and remind your body that calm is not something you chase. It's something you can sip. 4. Green tea, the mind-sharpening tonic. There's a kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix, when your body is rested but your thoughts feel dull, foggy, slightly out of focus. This is where green tea has always had something gentle to offer. In Japanese monasteries, green tea wasn't just a drink. It was a ceremony, a practice in precision, stillness, and mindful awakening. Monks would prepare it slowly, measuring the water, watching the steam, letting the ritual itself be the first step toward clarity. Because green tea contains a quiet alchemy, caffeine for energy, and L-theanine for calm. Together, they do something rare. They stimulate without spiking. They focus without forcing. This duo has been shown to increase alpha waves in the brain, the same brain waves linked to deep concentration, creative thinking, and emotional regulation. For older adults, this becomes more than mental sharpness. It's about protecting cognition, preventing decline, supporting a brain that still wants to learn, even if it moves slower. Steep your green tea at 75 to 80 degrees Celsius, no hotter. Let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes. Then bring it to your lips slowly, with nothing else in your hands. Let it wake you, not with noise, but with presence. One sip at a time, you may notice ideas come more easily. Memory feels less distant, and your inner world starts to hum again. Because some mornings don't need more sleep. They just need a cup of green and a moment of returning to yourself. 5. Chamomile tea. The softness before sleep. Sleep isn't just the act of closing your eyes. It's a landing, a gentle descent into stillness. And for many, that descent feels rough. Thoughts spin, the body clings to tension. Digestion hums louder than it should. This is where chamomile comes in, not as a sedative, but as a soft invitation to unwind. For centuries, monks turned to chamomile not just before bed, but during life's in-between moments. The end of a long season, the space between sorrow and peace, the dusk between what was and what's next. Because chamomile doesn't force sleep, it prepares the body for it. It gently binds to GABA receptors, the same pathways used in natural calming. It helps lower cortisol, reducing that quiet grip in the chest that so often delays rest. And it soothes the gut, where stress often hides when we've convinced ourselves we're fine. Its fragrance alone tells the body, you can soften now. Here's the ritual. Take dried chamomile flowers. Steep them for at least 8 minutes. No rushing. Let the water turn golden and fragrant, then drink it 60 minutes before bed. Not while distracted, but in a room that signals peace. Soft lighting. Quiet music maybe. One hand on your belly, one long breath between each sip. Let this be your slow descent. The moment you tell your body, you are safe, you are done for today. Because healing sleep isn't found in hours. It's found in how you arrive at the edge of it. You don't have to overhaul your life. You don't need a new routine, a new diet, or a new identity. Sometimes you just need a cup, and a moment that belongs only to you. Because healing doesn't always arrive in breakthroughs. It often comes through rhythm, a small ritual repeated with care. That's what tea can be. A way back to breath, to warmth, to the version of yourself that isn't rushing through everything. Start simple. In the morning, let ginger spark your system awake. It doesn't shout. It glows from within. In the afternoon, let Rooibos soften the tension. Let its calm settle where the stress used to sit. When your mind needs clarity, choose green tea. Let it sharpen, but never spike. And in the evening, steep chamomile. Not for sleep, but for surrender. Each cup is not just a remedy, it's a return to presence, to stillness, to yourself. Don't drink tea to escape, drink to reconnect, not to distract your body, but to remind it that you're still listening. Because in a world of noise, sometimes the most powerful medicine is what happens when you slow down. Wrap your hands around something warm and say, without words, I'm here. For just 1 week, don't just drink tea, practice with it. Let each cup mark a moment. In the morning, start with ginger. Feel it rise like a soft fire through joints that stiffened overnight. In the afternoon, choose Rooibos. Let it catch you between tasks, the quiet space where tension usually hides. And as the light fades, make chamomile your closing gesture. Not to fall asleep, but to arrive at rest. Do this for 7 days, not perfectly, but curiously. Notice how your body responds when you create rhythm, not just reaction. Maybe your breath deepens. Maybe your thoughts slow. Maybe your hands stop shaking just a little before dinner, then come back. Tell us, which tea became your favorite moment? What surprised you? Drop your ritual in the comments, not as advice, but as a gentle offering, because someone out there is holding a cup and waiting for permission to make it sacred.